Follow me, it'll be alright. I'll be the one to hold you right at night. And if you leave, there'll never be another one like me. And I just screwed that totally up.
Yes, you did.
Good morning, the Infection
What
Connection.
was that?
It's by Cracker.
Cracker?
Follow me, it'll
Okay.
be alright. I'll be the one to hold you. No, to tuck you in at night.
Yes.
And if you leave, you'll guarantee you'll never find another none like me. That's it. Okay. You know, I practiced that and everything, and I just, totally messed it up. Good morning. Welcome to the Affection Connection. I am the captain of the sinking ship, Ron Kolek.
That's not a way to start.
And with me, of course, is my charming, the woman who keeps me in line, or tries to anyway, St. Jan.
Good morning, everyone.
And the one who puts it all together, despite what Facebook does, is what is he? Oh, yeah, the man who puts R in relationships, Lou Belazzi.
Puts R in relationships?
Yeah, put the R in relationships.
Afraid to ask what that means.
You don't even want to know. Anyway, so here we are. We're back again.
Yes.
Excited. Whole bunch of new questions for us. Whole bunch of new whatever. Oh, by the way, if you do want to call during the show, how can they do that, Lou?
They can call. The number's at the top of the screen, 978-659-0072. But please make sure the show is live before you call. And you're not watching it on replay.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would watch it on replay?
It happens.
Or you can actually, you can call in during the show, or you can message us in the Affection Connection, whatever we are there, and
Yes.
yeah, sure, all that stuff.
Yes.
So, as you know, we always start off with a little quote from, where am I, over here?
Yes.
My favorite book. Oh, I hate this delay. Pillow Talk, Humorous Quotes in Love and Marriage. And today is, it's a good one. You ready?
Okay.
There will be sex after death. We just won't be able to feel it.
Okay.
Oh, Ronnie.
Not me. That is Lily Tomlin.
It's kind of a crossover between your two shows there.
Good point, Lou.
Yeah.
Good point. If you don't know what we're talking about the Morning Edition show, which is also live every Monday at 11 a.m., correct?
Yeah, 11:04, 11:05, somewhere
Thereabouts.
there. Yep.
Somewhere, we're guys.
Yep.
All right, so
when Facebook isn't taking us down for some
I had a laugh about that because during the show we talked about
outages.
Yeah, outages. Like, what can we do and everything else, and Facebook went down.
Facebook went down. Yes.
Which is
For hours too. That was a long outage.
a long time. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we went over. I went to stop and get my usual coffee and sausage McMuffin dough they get at McDonald's for $2. And they couldn't take my order. The computers were down.
Their computers were down. You're just
computers were
trailing outages all over the place, huh?
Yep, it's that photograph.
Oh, so that's why you ended up at Dunkin's.
Yeah, I know. It was much more expensive.
Jan, do you do McDonald's when he does McDonald's?
Oh, yes. Yeah. But I don't like the McMuffin sandwich. That's too much for me. But the coffee's decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. For $1.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so let's go. We got a ton of questions. We got lots of people that want to know. They tune into this show. They want to see what love advice we have and relationship advice. It's not just about love. It's about relationships as well. The yin and the yang.
We are not professionals. I'll do the disclaimer today.
Yes.
We are not professionals. We're just relying on our experiences our judgment.
And this show is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
I think covers everything, right?
Yes.
All right, so Jan, why don't you start us off?
Oh, and by the way, if you're in any kind of dangerous or abusive situation, seek professional help.
Right.
I'd
Yes.
like to point that out.
Yes.
Or a hitman.
Don't mess around with us. Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Good morning. I've been listening to your show since it started, and quite frankly, I didn't know what to expect, but I was pleasantly surprised. I quite enjoy it. Here is my question. My mother-in-law watches my 3 children twice a week. My oldest has informed me that she's always asking them about her son and my relationship, especially mine. Does Mommy drink after work? Do you ever smell strange odors? Do you eat a lot of takeout? Does she yell at Daddy? I find this insulting and don't know what to do. Do you have any advice?
We got a problem here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem. Of course,
Well,
it's a
that's
mother-in-law, right?
Yep.
Mother-in-law problem. It's typical.
Yeah. That's redundant.
Although I had a great mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I said I had a great mother-in-law. What? Don't look at me like that.
My mother was wonderful.
Yes, she was wonderful. So what do we got, kids? What do you think?
Well, can I make a comment?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, that's what we're
Okay.
here for.
Well, I would have a visit with her and ask her why she felt it necessary to quiz my children. And non-confrontational, just sit down and say,
How do you do that non-confrontational?
just sit down and say, hey, mother, let's have a cup of coffee.
Let's have a talk.
Let's have a talk.
You know you're screwed right off the bat as soon as someone says that to you.
Well,
Well, that's okay.
serve wine.
Yeah.
There you go.
The mother-in-law is being intrusive and putting the children in the middle, which isn't very nice, putting them in a position of ratting on their parents.
So you think he was a mommy boy?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Mom's got some issues. See, I would go the exact opposite direction. I would feed her stuff.
You'd call a hitman.
No, I'd feed her stuff. I'd say, I don't know, what do you think this symbol is? And show her a pentagram.
Now that's
Mom
funny.
wears horns around the house. I don't know what that's all
Yeah,
about.
but you know what, Lou? If you do that, and the relationship does go rocky, and you have to go to court, you're screwed.
No one's gonna buy that. I would have some fun with her first.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. I mean,
She just can't let go, right?
who knows what's going on? She's got some issues. She's just digging for stuff to use against her daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't like him. We don't know if she likes him or not. Right? Well, she's watching the kids twice a week, so.
Plus, the thing that's not in here that I would find interesting is
I know there's always something that there isn't.
yeah, she asked her oldest son, I think it was, how old's his son? I mean, are we asking a
Yeah.
7-year-old this, or are we asking a?
I think it's younger.
12-year-old
I think it's a
this?
young kid. I don't know how.
This is just wrong.
It's not a teenager. I'm just guessing. Once again, we don't
Yeah,
know.
she wouldn't have to babysit a teenager.
So what we
Yes.
say, give us as much information in these questions as you can, because then we can give you a more heartfelt.
Well, if you're not
answer.
going to let me prank her, and just feed her with information, which would be my first instinct,
Do it,
I'd teach them the Bill Belichick way.
which is
Just don't answer any questions, or answer.
if they're little kids, they're just
Yeah.
gonna, and she probably gives them candy and shit. Oops, didn't I
Yeah.
say that?
Yeah, that
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a
just
difficult
teach
one.
the kids to tell them that's none of your business, Grandma, so that she knows it came from you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with the family dynamics. It's difficult. It's not like you're in a relationship and you just it's like a boyfriend and you could just say, oh, you just take off or whatever, listen to your business or whatever. But I mean, they're watching the kids twice a week. There must be there for holidays and stuff like that. So you've got that constant interaction. Unless you want to cause a huge rift, you've got to somehow do it diplomatically. That's
Why I say just sit down and have, non-confrontational conversation.
What would you say?
I say, gee, Ma, how come my son was telling me that you ask if there are strange odors at home or do I drink?
Strange odors.
Yeah.
Could be wacky tobacco. I don't know. Maybe that's what
okay, yeah.
Maybe that's what she's looking at.
I was wondering what she was fishing for.
I
There,
don't know.
but Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
It's probably what it was.
Yeah, maybe she put it that way because she didn't want to say it, but I don't know. And if the kids are little, they probably don't know what wacky tobacco is.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? So
how would you do it? How would you go about it?
I said it's a sticky
Because first of all,
situation.
it is sticky because 2 days a week of childcare, that's an expense if
Oh, yeah.
you want to pull them away from the
Right.
mother-in-law
Yep.
and do that. So there's some stakes involved here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say, don't be.
And once again, the family dynamics, which is,
Yeah.
that's a sticky thing. Anytime you dig with family, you've got to. Sometimes I wish I was an only child, and you would be have not too much of a problem. Although he seems to have, and he might be an only child. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
Probably is. I bet you because she's so controlling or something. I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't like him.
I think step one is making her aware that
wait a
the
minute.
kids are returning this
So-
information so she knows what's going on.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
and this is what I would do. Okay, instead of going to the mother-in-law, I would go to my husband
Yeah.
and say,
Deal with it.
Yeah. What's going on here? Your mom's asking little Bobby if I drink after work, and little Bobby if I yell at you, and little Bobby if I have funny smells here. So whatever. So that's what I would do. I would go to your husband first. That's my opinion.
You wouldn't prank her?
No. I ain't messing with family dynamics.
Yeah.
Unless it's my own family, that's a different story.
Does Mummy drink?
But somebody,
no, she drinks a soda called Jim Beam.
Yeah.
She does drink a lot of it, though.
I know. Does it come in a wine glass? I don't know. All right. What do you got, Lou?
Oh, for a question.
Are we done? Or we done with that one, right?
Yeah,
I don't think we
so.
can say any more on that.
Yeah, we got 3 different viewpoints on how to handle
Okay,
it.
fair enough.
All right, I'm going to skip around here.
Pick one you want. Mark one off, Jen.
I am a 29-year-old male who has not dated very much. Nothing seems to last. For the last few years, I've all but given up. But it was caught up to me, and I'm feeling really depressed. It has caught up to me, and I'm feeling really depressed. Please, what advice do you have for me? 29.
I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
I know. When were you married? How old were you when you
I've
married?
been 23.
23. Yep.
Yeah, but I've always been a hunk. Never had the problems with the dating.
Well, 29. There's a lot of pressure. At least he's not coming out of his first marriage. Which,
Right.
by the way, congratulations.
Yeah, that in itself is. So he says, I've dated but not very much. So he's dated before.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to last. Okay, so there's a little bit of problem there. For the last few years, he's given up.
Yep.
So, okay, that's the problem right there.
Yeah, but
If you
he's
ask me.
But he's also experiencing some depression, which means that
You should see a doctor. Is what you should see.
Yeah,
I mean, I really think so. I mean,
a doctor or a therapist.
a doctor. A doctor will refer you to the proper,
Oh,
whether it's a psychologist or probably a psychologist. Excuse me. That'll end up with. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, in all fairness, certain aspects of it might have been already latent in him, but he may have suffered from depression before, and maybe depression can be fixed. People, I hate to say it,
Managed. It can be managed.
managed, and I hate to say this, but they do have drugs for that, as well as talk as well. But sometimes there's a chemical imbalance, and that can be fixed.
sometimes. But I like to see medication as a last resort.
Yeah, I do too. But that's why I say see your doctor first. And if it's more than likely refer you to the psychologist, and the psychologist will, get to the root of the thing. I mean, we don't know too much about him, of course.
The
but,
idea is he's putting a lot of pressure on having a relationship.
oh, is he
and
really? He gave up on it.
No, I know, but he's depressed because he doesn't have a relationship. He
Is
made
that
the effort
him
to
putting
give up on it.
depression, or is it us, the world, putting pressure on him?
Either way, he feels it's important to have a relationship, and I think it's important to have a life, and then the relationship comes. Most people chase around a relationship, and they want a relationship because they feel they need to be in a relationship to be quote-unquote complete. Well, you can be complete on your own and have a life and enjoy it, and then and by the way, that's when the relationship comes, and the best relationship comes. That's when you find the right person, when you're not looking for a relationship.
Are you hearing voices?
Yes,
Okay, fine.
people in the hall
Oh, okay.
don't understand this is a broadcast facility.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing. If you're desperate for a relationship to become whole or not be depressed, that's the wrong position to be in. Build a life, be a complete, be a whole person. And I know it's difficult. I know it's because, as you said, society is pressuring you to have a relationship. You feel worthless if you're not in a relationship. But the good news is you're selective and you're not just in a relationship because you feel you have to be.
But the problem is that you have to get out there. In other words, you can't sit at home. You're never
Right.
going to have a relationship if you sit home, right?
Right. But you get out there by having interest and going out.
Yeah, you have to do something outside the house. You can't be sitting home doing
Right.
video games. You can't be watching Netflix. You can't be doing anything that you just hang around the house. You have to get out there amongst where there are game, as you may say.
Yeah.
And it really is. And granted, and Lou, you're absolutely right. If you have to do what you want to do, but hopefully he can develop something that's outside the house, and that's important. And if you do, you got to find like-minded people in that same
Right.
whatever you do, right?
Right.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what you're here for. You can just talk up to you, and you don't have to answer, may I? It's not that, what is it, simple, Simon? May I?
Okay, shut up.
Okay.
Thank you. there are organizations that you can join with like-minded people. Like I know a young lady that joined a hiking club because she really enjoys that.
Yep.
So, she meets people there, and it's, the emphasis is on hooking up. The emphasis on, meeting people like-minded and everything. And, the church has groups, in different organizations, so might try something like that.
Yeah, there's 100 ways you can go. There's activities, there's, adult education, go take a class or something, just get out
Right.
with some people, with a group of people.
Right. But I have to say from personal experience, if he's feeling down, that is a slippery slope, and he really should, talk to a professional, not necessarily to get drugs, but to, talk about some of his feelings and build himself up. Maybe he's feeling down on himself, but that
Yeah.
is my opinion.
Yeah,
on this one.
he feels for his life to be worthwhile and not be depressed, he has to be in a relationship. And that's a bad way to shop for a relationship.
Right,
Because you end up making mistakes and you end up settling for relationships just to have one.
right.
And that just puts you in a bad situation.
But if he builds himself up first and builds up his confidence and self-esteem,
Plus, he's what he's got. The source of his depression, his basic viewpoint right now is, I'm never going to find anybody, and I'm
Right.
going to be alone the rest of my life.
yeah.
Wow, you're reading a lot into that.
Well, why else would he be depressed? He's talking about the relationship.
We don't know why he's depressed. He says, it has caught up to me, and I'm feeling really depressed. Okay, so,
Yeah, because he's
not
given
having a
up on a
relationship.
relationship.
Okay, all right, yeah, I agree
Right.
with you. Okay.
Right, and that's not the position. That's not when you find relationships. When you're, you get to a relationship happen to you when you're doing something else. It's kind of like the whole old saying about life.
Yes.
But
I
you got
agree.
to disabuse yourself of that notion that you're never going to find anybody and you're going to be alone the rest of your life. He's 29.
No.
I guarantee that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But the more you press for it, the less effective you are at it.
I agree. All right, I think we're done with that one. Mm-hmm. So we move on. And here's one. Lou, we're going to love this one.
Okay, great.
Okay. I have been married for 17 years now, and for most part, it's been a great marriage. However, my wife does one thing that absolutely drives me crazy.
Uh-oh.
When I ask a simple question, she always replies with a short story. I just can't get a simple answer out of her.
Yep.
Okay.
Usually unrelated, too, right?
Yeah, probably.
It's like you walk to the side of the woods, and then you walk in the woods and wander around for a while and never come to the point of the question.
I can say, my friend, get used to it because it's a female thing.
It is a female thing.
It is a female
and
thing.
Deal with it
Yep.
because we like to explain things.
You face this, haven't you?
I face this. I do. I face this.
And I know Steve has this too because I've moaned to him about it as well.
I imagine Steve and I are very similar because I like to be very efficient with conversation because, it's not a big thing for me, conversation. Sometimes it can be done well if you're with somebody who's good at it and you feel safe. And
That's
stuff
why I
like
hate
that.
messaging, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like back and forth kind of crap. It's like, no, pick up the phone, ask me a question, I'll give you an answer.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
in my head, I've had this conversation all the time. I ask a question to get a specific piece of information.
Right.
That's all I need and all I
We
want
just
right
need that
now.
teeny
Yeah.
weeny little thing there.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's the case of men are from Mars, women
Yeah,
from
I
Venus.
think so,
really.
too. Yeah.
You have to laugh at some of these things
Yeah.
because it's just the way it is.
It's just a natural part of yin and yang, I guess. But anyway.
But this is where you learn to start to manage your reactions.
Yes.
Because it doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Yeah.
It's that big a deal because it aggravates you. to
Well,
that point.
I remember the first show we had. Remember the guy that used to put his hand in his pants like Al Bundy,
Yeah.
right? And they had a good marriage together, but that drove his wife nuts. So that thing, I think, probably on his part was more changeable than for a woman to give you a short answer. I really do.
Yeah. How many times it's happened to me so many times where I ask a question and then 90 seconds later I ask the same question.
Because you never answered it. You
No,
wanted to
no,
tell
we
us
went
about
on
your
this whole-
entire day and
You want an entire walk.
this adventure you were on, and
So, about that original question I asked.
Just ask, honey, please. I just want the point.
doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we moving on?
I just think learn to deal. it becomes a problem when you start to react to it. So
Right.
learn to manage your reactions to
Yeah.
things.
Make
It's
it-
just
I'm sorry, make a joke out of it.
Isn't it balance?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. How important is it to you? I know it drives you nuts, right?
Yeah.
But it is. But it is.
And you just have to accept in a relationship. You have to accept that people have different approaches to life and everything.
Yeah.
And isn't it true that too that we're not that perfect person that you think we are. Everybody's
I know you're not perfect.
that you think we are. I may be perfect, but you don't think so. That's the problem.
I know so.
But we're not going to have that perfect person, are we?
No.
No. Okay.
No, especially with the immense amount of contact you have in a relationship.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
The annoyances of daily life, unfortunately come in at times, and
Yeah, you had a good approach. I think you can start to laugh at it because it's. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm thinking of all the conversations that started with a particular question and where that answer went. It's like, how did we get here?
This is what we should do. Ask the question. Just have a tape recorder with you, and record it. Don't let them know you're doing it, right? And just record it. And then when you're done, saying, "Where's the answer to this?" I'm sorry.
It's funny sometimes how far afield the whole thing can go.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
But you do it. You do have to laugh at it, I guess. Anyway. All right, that was a doozy. But one we could all, at least Lou and I could relate to.
I don't think Jan doesn't seem that type. Do you wonder?
Oh, God, does she wonder? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I bet you I could have wrote that damn thing.
if he says so, but big deal.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have a hard time communicating with him because, one, he doesn't identify his subject.
Wait a minute. It's not about me. It's about our listeners.
A friend of mine has a husband that does this. Doesn't identify the subject. He knows his wife is hard of hearing, but will talk to her from 2 rooms over. And this woman expresses a lot of difficulty and annoyance with that. How many times do you have to tell a person, you need to be looking at me when you're talking to me?
And yet the same person that I know.
That's a big problem with my Jan and I. We both have hearing issues.
What?
And and she mumbles. So it's like a lot of the conversation is just lost. In addition to not answering questions directly, we have trouble with keeping conversations at a particular place.
Yeah.
It's like we were having this rather serious conversation, and I don't mean serious like a problem. I meant like we were talking about a lot of money, and a decision about expanding the house, actually. And we're having this conversation. We're going down the road, and we did a good 10 minutes on the conversation, and then all of a sudden,
You robbed some.
it just went totally. And by the end of it, we were talking ghosts, I think, by the end of it. And I don't know. I'm just sitting there going, I'm just trying to finish this conversation.
But it's funny like that because, the show we do, we go down all kinds of rabbit holes. We ended up going, we start here and then we're going like,
Yeah.
anyway. All right, so it's who we are and we just have to accept it because I doubt if it'll ever change.
Yeah, and my advice was learn to change your approach, and I think Jan's advice was good. Have a little fun with it because you can have fun with it.
Yeah.
Even thinking back on it now, I'm just thinking how far afield conversations go. It's funny.
Yeah, they do. Anyway. All right, kid.
Okay. My family and I live in a 2-tenement house in the city. We have a front yard, but not much of a backyard. The landlady lives upstairs, and we live on the bottom floor. Every time my kids play in the yard, she sits in the window watching them. I find this creepy. What do you think?
Is that all she's doing?
Well, that's what all it says. And my take on this is maybe she's a very lonely person, and she watches the children because she finds it enjoyable. That's the take.
Yeah.
My take,
Good
anyway.
point. I don't think it's creepy. And I don't think so.
No, based on what we have, no. I mean, she's older. She lives alone, I take it.
We don't know, of course, but yeah.
Probably reminds her of her grandkids. She likes watching
Maybe
kids
she likes
play.
watching kids. Jan is, anytime we go by a baby, I've lost her for like 20 minutes. I have no idea where she is. I could be like 3 miles down the street. What the hell's Janet? She was right behind me. And there she is talking to some mother with a baby 10 miles back there.
Yeah, I read her as mama bearing it a little bit here. And, I understand where you could find that creepy, but I don't think anything's going on, based on what I know, anyway.
From what I've read, I think And what if one of the children got hurt or some such?
Oh, that's a good point, yeah.
What if some weirdo came in and if she's watching, she can act on it right away?
Yeah, I mean, she obviously has a relationship with her landlord.
Yeah.
Right.
So if there's other parts of her relationship that is making this creepy, I mean, I could understand that.
Yeah.
Right, but we don't see it in here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Based on what I'm-
it's hard because we don't get a 20-minute paragraph. We only get
Right.
a little sentence.
Yeah.
But it's
But an older woman just watching kids play, I mean,
no, I think the poor mother is a victim of our society nowadays, where there's so much weird crap going on
Yes,
that
probably.
she's worried about her kids and everything. I mean, we've seen it, in supermarkets where people have come in and just grabbed your kid right out of your carriage and stuff. So I mean,
When my kids
she's
were
being
young-
motherly instincts to protect your children. So I understand that, but honestly, we don't know everything about this woman. But I wouldn't feel bad about it unless there's something else that gives you.
Right.
right. I don't
to
see
it.
anything in the note. I mean, there may be other things involved.
Yeah.
When my kids were young, I used to marvel at the difference in my approach towards them as opposed to my parents' approach towards me, and I know it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, geez, I'd leave I'm 9 years old. I'd leave the house in the morning with no phone, no way to get in touch with me.
Yeah.
They had no idea where I was or what I was doing, and I'd come back, for dinner.
We talked
Right.
about this many a times. Yeah.
And it's like my kids, as soon as they're out of the house, it's like, here's a cell phone.
Yeah.
And you answer the damn phone if I pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would go
Yeah.
come home when the late street lights come on. That was our biggest thing. Suppers when the street lights are on. We knew that.
We were free-range children, and yet that was a different time. I remember my mother and father saying, don't take candy from somebody.
Yeah.
Thinking that they were just going to kidnap us.
Yeah.
Not knowing the real deeper reason behind it.
I told you when I was in second grade when I moved to Drake, I missed my school bus at the school, going home, and some guy just gave me a ride home. Some guy. Now I wasn't even he wasn't at the school. I had walked across the street to the candy store, and he says, "What's the matter?" And I says, well, I missed the bus and I can't find my way home." And he says, "Well, do you know where you live?" I says, "I don't know. I think so." And so he jumped in his car and took me home.
Yeah.
So back then it was a different time.
And that's something you do today, but then you have second thoughts.
Right, yeah.
Would you do it today?
Offer to help a child, but then
Yes,
you have to
often
be careful.
I don't
No,
even
but
know.
actually do it? No, I've stopped myself a number of times because just some stranger pulling up to a kid.
I mean, I'm afraid to even touch a woman today.
yeah.
Everybody knows that I'm very touchy-feely, and that, in a playful way, nothing,
Yeah.
But, I won't, it's like whatever. Oops. What the hell happened there?
But you're paying for the creeps out there that
Yeah, we
really...
are. Touch a woman today.
Gonna mute.
What happened here?
Mute your laptop. Or mute that. Is that?
I don't know what the hell is ongoing here. It's
it
been
you?
on all the time. Wow.
Is it your laptop? Or
Yeah, it's my laptop.
all right.
It's weird. I'm telling you, Lou, this is on my laptop has been on like forever, since the show started. And all of a sudden, the volume goes up.
Ooh.
The weirdness. All right, I've been married for 30 years now, and it's been a good marriage. I love it.
good.
I love a note that starts like that.
That's good.
We have a nice yard, which I take care of. Lately, when I've gone out to cut the lawn, my wife has asked me to do it shirtless. Is this weird?
Well, I don't know if it's weird.
No, it's not weird.
Maybe he has a good body, and she likes to look at his chest without a
30
shirt
years,
on.
and all of a sudden,
I think it's, well, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think weird is going on?
I don't know.
I think it's a good thing. She still finds him attractive.
Maybe she thinks he's too pale.
Maybe she's trying to put a little spice in their life.
Really, huh? I know. I wouldn't like to cut lawn. Well, I washed the car.
He's been married for 30 years, so he's got to be close to 50 or in his
Right.
50s, right? He's got to be in his 50s.
So what if it was the other way around?
No, that'd be weird.
No, seriously. What if it was the other way around? And I'm not going to say outside, but if it was in the house, say, honey, why don't you walk around without a bra on?
Hell no.
No, see,
See? Now, what's the difference?
no man's going to do that.
Not and live. So we have a two standard thing? Is that what we're saying?
Of course. Life is a double
Fine,
standard. It's-
Fine.
And if he doesn't like to or doesn't want to, he'll say, hey, no,
She could always get a pool boy, right?
There you go.
boy toy.
Hire somebody to do the lawn with his shirt off.
So I guess, my friend, take your shirt off. Shake what your mama gave you.
I don't know if he should or not, but I mean, I take it as a compliment. It's a compliment.
Right,
I don't
and
think
it-
it's weird.
And it's his choice. He doesn't have to.
Yeah. What's that saying? Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife,
Yeah.
happy
What
life?
the hell?
No, hon, but you can take it off when I come in. I don't know.
No, I don't go for that one.
It's not weird. I don't think anything weird's going on here.
I mean, she doesn't want it on, so I mean, she there must be a reason, right?
Yeah?
Maybe she needs it. Maybe, like Jan says, she's trying to spice it up a little bit. Maybe she's got her fantasies with the lawn man.
Maybe she's trying to fix her husband up with a neighbor.
There you go. Or maybe she's trying to keep the squirrels away. I don't know. Okay, that was a good one.
It's weird, but it's not weird. I mean,
All right, it's the consensus, believe it or not, is
it's weird, but it's not weird.
yep. So do it.
No, take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Should we go on that same route, or should we change gears a little bit?
It's up to you. Dealer's choice.
All right, I'll go with this one. This is here we go. This is a nice sibling one. I grew up in a large family, 6 siblings. We got along great for years. Then one day, my sister became annoyed with my wife, and they no longer speak to each other. Ooh.
Catfight.
This has been going on for several years now. Now that I'm getting older, I'd like to bury the hatchet in my sister. But I should be sleeping. Should I let a sleeping dog lie, or should I try to resolve this?
Step in between your wife and your sister
That's a nasty.
to resolve it. First of all, that's going to
End poorly.
that's going to require you to ask your wife for a concession to her nemesis, which I can't see ending well in any way, shape, or form.
All right, so I go back to that one right in the beginning with the mother-in-law, and you know how I feel
Family,
about
yeah.
family dynamics. It is brutal. It is the worst minefield in the world. You can talk about all the minefields in Vietnam and Korea and anywhere else, but damn, that family
Because there's
relationship.
forced engagement. You can't get away from it. You're forced to relate to your family. Jan, what are the odds you think that he could resolve it or improve the situation by getting involved?
I personally don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Really? You think he should try, though? I mean, like he says, it's been going on for several years.
Yeah.
All right, so he's getting on in life. So maybe age makes us wiser and more compassionate. Maybe not.
To answer that question, you have to determine how possible it is to actually resolve the situation. Now,
we don't know what happened.
Depends on his.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Depending on his definition of resolution. In other words, if he went to both of them and said, "I understand you guys get problems with each other. Can we just act civilly? Can we just put this aside?" That's a resolution without a compromise.
First of all, you'd have to do it independently of each other. They couldn't put them in the same room. It wouldn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, I just hate family dynamics. It's God, it's hell on earth.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a solution for you. I really don't. Should you? Shouldn't you? You know what? I'm going to give you a solution because that's what we do. We're supposed to give advice, and my advice to you is to write a letter to your sister, and saying exactly what you wrote to us, that it's been a lot of years and you'd like to resolve it. Would you be willing? And that is all I would write. And I love you, still love you. Would you? Or not still love you? Don't say that. I love you, and. Would you like to resolve it?
Who are you sending that letter to?
To sister.
To the sister.
To the sister.
So the wife thinks you're going behind her back.
I'll deal with that.
Yeah?
I'll deal with that.
See, that's the tender part of this. Dealing with your wife
It
has to
is
be a
dealing with
priority.
both aspects of it, but the one is closer to home. You know your wife more than anyone. You should be able to sweet talker at the very least.
Now, Jan, one of the problems with this and differences between men and women again, if men have a long-standing conflict with each other, they will get to the point where they will drop the emotion and just ignore each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Women don't
I'll
do
beat
that.
the shit out of each other.
I'll beat the shit out of and then get a beer together.
You get a beer together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Women don't do that.
No, they hold on to things.
They hold that emotion,
Yeah.
right? So that's what makes this difficult to untangle.
And I have a hard time commenting on this because I understand a little bit of the situation, so it's difficult for me to make
Okay.
a comment.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think it's very delicate because you have to do it in such a way that you don't injure your relationship with your wife.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing is.
But everything you do to protect that relationship is going to piss off your sister.
When you get married, it's wife first, then family.
Right.
That's the way it is. Wife first, family. It's just like in the Bible when you say, your what's that quote there? You leave your wife, your daughter leaves your family, and
And then you become a new family.
your new family.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But
that's-
everything you do that protects your wife's position in this conflict is going to piss off your sister and make things worse.
Not necessarily. I mean, she may be in that same. She may feel the same way. It's been several years. If it just happened, that's a different story. But it's been going on for several years, so maybe she's in the same thing. You know, I mean, they said were great before, so maybe whatever. I don't
Lure
know.
them both into a room with a lot of wine in there.
No,
Just lock the door.
never in the same room, ever, ever, ever. No, that's my advice. Don't ever do that.
I don't think there's enough wine in the world for that
Yeah, I don't
situation.
think so either.
One thing you could do is maybe talk to your wife about it. And with the same question. I'm getting on in years. I'd kind of like to see this resolved. Is there any way we can do this? And then let the wife come up with
No,
if she
I
has
would,
a suggestion.
To mine
about
is I would go with the sister.
go to the
Because
sister.
that's blood. So if you're going to do it, that's the way to do it. Find out because you know your sister more than that, and you know your wife more than that. So,
I understand, but that's putting your wife in a bad
what's
situation.
no, it isn't. What is the really worst that come out of it? Your sister says, "Yeah, I'd like to." All right. So then you go to your wife and says, "Hon, this has been going for a lot of time, and I heard that my sister would like to end this. You willing?" And you do it that way. It's simple
Why are you
as that.
talking to your sister about this?
No.
Why aren't you
I
talking to me
heard
about this?
I heard. You didn't say you talked to him. I heard.
Okay.
I didn't say I talked to my sister. I said I heard that.
Really? What did that bitch say about me?
I just said. Lou, you are so mean.
No, you can't compromise your relationship with your wife.
Okay. All right.
You can't give your wife any impression that you sided with your sister in this. Or your sister
There
was the
isn't.
more
There is no
reasonable
compromise
person.
in the thing. I just told you I heard. It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
So, that's my opinion.
Okay.
You have your opinion. I have mine.
Good luck.
Yeah. Thanks. Anyway,
Yeah.
who's up?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I'm a 32-year-old woman who takes care of her body, and I jog every day. I usually wear a sports bra and exercise pants. During my jog, I run into several people, both men and women, especially women, who chastise me for my outfit. They say I should be ashamed of myself, and worse, I find this appalling. What do you think?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
That's the Karen effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
She's out there jogging.
Yep.
Mind your own business. Sounds like a little bit of jealousy there. I mean, the woman is jogging every day, so she's taking the time to try and keep her, her weight down, her health, on a good level and everything.
Well, I don't think they're complaining about that. They're complaining about what she's wearing.
But that's appropriate for exercising. Now, if she's going to the supermarket, I'd be a little bit, does she really have to do that? And obviously, if she's going to mass, I'd say, really. But
but I mean, styles change, and we don't know the age of these people that are saying things. But if they're older, maybe they're not, in the same mindset. They're thinking back in the 50s or something. Who knows?
Right.
So, it's a difficult thing. And what was she looking for? What was her?
my problem is that when I go out, men often stare at me. I find this insulting. How should I handle it?
No. That's a different story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lou. It's Lou, not you.
They say I should be ashamed of myself, and worse. I find this appalling. What do you think?
Okay, so
I think she's got the right. I think it is appalling.
So what she needs, okay, to me, okay, I think they should mind their own business, quite frankly.
Yes.
You know, it's unless the police are nailing her, then she's fine. To me,
And again, we don't know the specifics of the situation.
Right.
We haven't seen an outfit or anything.
yeah, I mean, sport bra
Yeah.
and should be fine as far as I know.
Acceptable wear for exercise
Yeah,
in today's
I mean, look,
society.
yeah, you know, I mean, we all know about the Karen effect, but the woman that was in the chimpanzee that was doing her exercise upside down, and her top came over, and her sport bra showed, and she was doing a hula hoop, and the woman got all bent out of
Yeah.
shape on that. But yeah, you know, that's the problem with
It's probably 350-pound women who wear yoga pants.
Oh God, yeah, that's the problem.
These are the people who are
Exactly.
complaining.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
to me, she needs a quip, something to come back, something to put them in their place. We got one to give her.
No, I don't. The only
You
thing
know,
I can
like,
say,
you jealous? Huh.
the only thing I can say is, consider the source. I'm a very modest person, and so I don't view nudity with any, appreciation.
Yep.
However, in that woman's
So I don't
case,
have to take my shirt off.
right. In that woman's case, it was an accident. So you just kind of slough it off if the child saw it, say, "Oh, that was an accident," and you don't make a big deal about it, so that it's not a big deal in the child's mind. You know the difference
What are
between.
we in child's now? We're talking about the woman.
She's talking about I think she's talking about the woman you talked about who exposed herself.
Oh, well, we shouldn't expose herself.
Well,
God,
Yeah.
shame on you, Lou.
Poor choice of words.
Very poor.
Yes, by mistake.
Yeah.
You know the situation. You know if it's questionable or not, and just deal with it accordingly.
Okay.
I think this is a big life lesson, and we've come across it a couple times in the show, is that you got to learn to deal within the things you can control.
Very good. Yes.
And you've got to learn to moderate your reaction to it.
The problem with today's society is everybody's got their nose in everybody else's business. Take care of your own house, never mind someone else's. That's the problem. If you weren't bugged by what other people are doing, you might be happier at home. Who knows? So just take care of what you're doing.
The problem is not necessarily that they commented. The problem is that she's appalled by it. And it's disturbing her in some way.
Is she appalled by it, or are they appalled by it?
I think this is appalling.
you have
What
the
do you
question.
think? Well, they're
Appalling, yeah.
appalled by it too. But her problem is, I think this is appalling. What do you think? She's bothered by their reactions.
Oh, okay.
And that's where the problem is. You
Okay.
can't change their reactions. You can't
Yeah, you
change
can't. You
people.
can't.
You
Right.
can't control the
That's
outside
something she
world.
has to deal with.
Moderate
Yeah.
your reaction to it.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
As Belichick says, ignore the noise.
Yeah. Or as I say, F them.
That works too.
Yeah.
All right, Jan, you got one for us?
Yes. This one is really good.
Oh, really good.
Excellent.
Like the other one sucked?
No, because I'm going to be very, very.
She's
Vocal on
intense
this
on this
one.
one. Good.
Oh, vocal. Uh-oh. We're in trouble.
Where is it?
She's still looking. We could be here all night.
Stop it.
Oh, come on. Okay, here it is. I'm a female in my second year of college. And my current roommate often brings her boyfriend around unannounced. They have barged in on me while dressing several times. They hang around kissing and whatnot. I am trying to study, and they have even had sex while they thought I was sleeping. I've talked to her about this. She just laughs and says I'm jealous. I'm at my wit's ends. What should I do?
Whoa, that's a good one.
Well, first of all, I think that roommate is way out of line. She's abusing.
Different societies.
Yes, this is my point.
Yep.
She's abusing the other woman's comfort level. And
Space.
first of all, she should lock the door. I mean, they should not be able to just walk in.
Can you lock doors? I'm not sure if you can.
Oh, yeah, I would think.
You think,
I'm guessing
yeah,
her
okay.
roommate has a key, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be
So
too.
I would make sure the door was closed. But that
Put
boyfriend
a chain on there.
I would be
Bucket of water.
very outraged, and I would not allow it. I would go to the
RA.
counselor or whatever.
Yeah.
What do
I
they
mean,
have?
her private business is her
floor,
private,
floor advisors or something like that, right?
something like the dorm monitor.
Resident advisors is
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah.
You can see how,
Worked up you are.
yes,
Yeah.
that girl is totally overstepping her bounds. She's making the other woman uncomfortable. she's totally selfish, and that would outrage me, that she would expose me to that. You know, her boyfriend has no business there overnight.
Yep.
You know?
Well, we don't know if they're overnight, but we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of that is part of the college culture, college
Right.
dorm culture.
Yes.
And I think what you have to do is you have to make a decision at this point how much conflict you want in this.
Yes, and I'm 71 years old. That's why I say I'm so
Yeah.
passionate about it. The younger generation,
71, time they trained you in.
yes, I know.
230s or 320s.
But an RA would be would have to be open to this sort of thing, and maybe try to get a roommate change or something like that,
Right,
or
Absolutely,
change living conditions. Or, I mean, I don't know if the RA is going to crack down on the whole boyfriend thing. Boyfriend's probably off campus too, so
Yeah.
they'll probably be frowning upon that. You got to understand.
They have co-ed dorms now.
Yeah, which is appalling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. But she's obviously tried to work this out with her, and there's no level of sympathy.
None at all.
The girl's going to say that's college culture, and it kind of is, but by the same token, you have a roommate and you have to try to compromise. And there has to be a way to work this out.
But the other
You
woman
think
is
so? Why? It's all give and take. It's
I
all
mean,
one way.
No, if the two people are willing, they find some accommodations that work for the two of them. Obviously, the roommate isn't
It's not
willing.
willing, yeah.
Right, exactly.
So what she should do?
Go to the RA.
So that's your answer? Yeah.
Yeah, and
Both of you?
try to change. First of all, I would do it without trying to throw my roommate under the bus. In other
Right,
words,
yes.
I would say this living situation isn't working out for me.
They're going to
And
ask you why. You're
is
going to have to
there a
get into it
possibility-
sooner or later.
Well, yes, but you keep the emphasis on the fact that I need a change in living conditions.
right.
Because I can't do my work, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Right. Exactly.
But I still like my solution, put some cold water on the door and they come on, and when they're in heat, just go open the door and there you go.
Yeah. So you go into the warfare end of it.
Yeah, whatever. I like that.
What do you think? What do you think she should do?
I told you. Bucket of water.
Bucket of water. He wouldn't let me prank the mother-in-law.
That's different. They're not related.
Letting
They're not-
her
it's not a
assault her
family.
roommate with a bucket of water.
It's not a family.
Well, Lou, I think you had a more reasoned approach. It's just like I'm saying, I am appalled by that behavior, that she has no modesty and, willing to do whatever she wants at the discomfort of her roommate. So I'm passionate about that. But
Yeah.
yes, there are situations where you have to calm down and try to deal with it more calmly and not as defensively.
See if she can trade roommates with the girl's boyfriend. All right, you come stay over here. I'm going to go stay over there.
That'll work. Yeah.
Hey, it might work.
Yeah. She may be gay. who
Obviously,
knows?
his roommate's not putting up with that crap. Right? That's why they're not over there.
Or maybe he's got his girlfriend over there.
Or maybe he's off
Or
campus.
boyfriend.
Yeah,
We're not judging here.
college culture.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
I've got a good one. My wife and I have been married for several years now. A couple of times, usually when she's been drinking, she starts talking dirty while making love.
Ooh.
I really enjoy it. How can I get her to do it more often without getting her drunk? That's that one.
Okay, this is standard technique here. This is
You
standard.
got something, Lou?
This is standard training technique.
We got something here.
Reward the behavior you want. Don't reward the behavior you don't want. So reward the behavior. Return the enthusiasm. Make it a good experience. Say, geez, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
It doesn't say that she minds it or not, but I mean, and the
She's
question,
only doing it
well, she's drunk. Yeah.
She's only doing it while she's drunk.
So she's less inhibited, right?
That's what drinking does. It
Yeah.
lowers your inhibition. So when she's not drunk,
Damn demon booze.
when she's not drunk, she feels insecure about it. She doesn't want to do it.
It could be a upbringing.
Yeah.
Yeah, could very much be a upbringing on it.
Yeah. But
So-
showing her some space
So
and
what do
some
you do?
safety and
Like slip her a
that you
few
like
bucks
it.
or something?
No, you explain to her how much you liked it. You talk about it afterwards. You return the enthusiasm.
Yeah. If you talk dirty, honey, I'll take my shirt off when I cut the lawn.
Well,
Oh, Ronnie.
yeah.
So yeah, actually, that's not a bad point. But how would you reward it? How do you even approach that? I mean, I understand you could say,
Well, she's inhibited, so you don't reduce it to a discussion. because she's inhibited by it. She doesn't want to have a discussion about it.
So how do you get us resolve
Return
it?
the enthusiasm.
And
Respond to it when
reward
she
it.
says it. Yeah, reward it.
Oh, when making love?
Yeah.
Oh, well, how do we know he doesn't already? He could be a stud for all we know. I don't know.
Well, when she's drunk, he obviously is.
But
yeah, just within the experience, just reward it.
You
Return the enthusiasm.
you,
say,
you
oh,
know
that-
what?
Yeah.
You know what? You have got to have a real intimate moment where I'm not talking sex now. I'm talking cuddle time. A real cuddle time moment. And you talk to her then. You know, say, honey, I love you. And this has been a great marriage. But you know what? A couple of times, that really turned me on. Just for me, you think you could do it better? I mean, do it better. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it again. I don't know. What do you think? You're married.
Well, I'm looking at it from the prospect of, like, again, I'm 71 years old. I was brought up, good girls were good girls. You know, the bad girls got pregnant and had to leave high school. And
Well, we're in a marriage now, kid.
yes, I know, but some of the stuff is still hard to overcome.
Yeah.
So that's
So
something
you should just forget it?
No, I think it's something that they have to work out, like you said,
Yeah.
during cuddle time or
Cuddle
whatever.
time, yeah. Ain't nothing you can't get during cuddle time. Give them the back rub their feet, a little snooch on the... Honey, I love you. Oh, yeah. Butter in your hands. Oh, you're here.
She's inhibited. You want to give her a safe space, and you give her safe space by returning the enthusiasm, making her understand that not only is it okay, you like it.
Okay.
You know, and she feels good about it because she's not doing it because she doesn't feel safe doing it when she's sober.
Okay.
So create that safe space.
There's our advice, child. And I'll take my shirt off when you cut the lawn.
I'm married, and my husband and I get together with two other couples. I've become attracted to one of the men in the group,
Uh-oh.
and I feel the feeling is mutual. I do love my husband, but my attraction to this other man is beginning to consume my thoughts. I'm not sure what to do. Any advice?
Yep, have him take his shirt off while he cuts the lawn. Let's get my answer to everything today.
I guess so.
Oh, that's a
How do you value your marriage?
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, fantasy is fine, my friend, but you cross over that line, sometimes there ain't no going back.
Exactly. That's a dangerous thought.
Yeah.
You know, you have to remove yourself from it.
Well, it depends. It depends how much you value a marriage, like Lou said.
Yeah.
You know, if you think that, first of all, you think he's going to stay with you afterwards, which is the big thing, that
Yeah.
you're going to live happily ever after, and then, okay, go for it. But
Back to the big question. What's more important, the issue of the relationship? What's more
Yeah.
important, her attraction to this guy or her relationship with her
It
husband?
should be her relationship with her husband.
Should be.
is it a physical attraction, or is it more than that? You know, is she, you know, like,
It's a
oh, but-
physical attraction.
you get that out of it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We
it could
wouldn't
be.
even be talking about it otherwise.
I think she'd better be careful because she could get burnt.
And she's considering
So,
taking
okay.
action on it. This is why the question wouldn't exist if she wasn't considering taking action.
So what do
on
you
it.
do then? Okay, if she's got these stirrings in her thighs, then what do you do? I mean, there are couples; they go out together. How the hell do you deal with it?
Your feelings, right? Your feelings and your attractions,
Yeah.
they're okay. It's until you act on them.
Very good, yes.
Don't act on them. I mean, you get attracted to people.
Yeah.
You have crushes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you have a crush at work. Maybe
I have a crush on Lou.
Yeah, there you go. Right.
I do too, Lou.
You have crushes. These things happen. What happens in your head, what happens in your heart, is your own business. But when you start acting on it, and she's contemplating the line at this point. And at that point,
So it must be extremely strong then.
Yeah.
So how can she continue a relationship with all the couples?
Be an adult. How about that? I don't care how strong it is. You got to decide what's your priority. Do you
Right.
value the marriage or do you value this attraction? I mean, these are adult choices.
Yeah, I guess it is. It is
Yeah.
a black and white choice, really.
Yes, definitely.
And if you try to make it not a black and white question, it's going to end up biting you in the ass anyways, and you may end up with who knows what.
And make no mistake, acting on it is ending your marriage.
Exactly.
You can play the game of they won't find out or whatever. No.
My mother had a wonderful expression, and it's, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
So make up your mind, what is number one priority?
Your mother invented that?
I didn't say she invented it. I said that was one of her favorite sayings.
The phrasing of her question, I do love my husband, but indicates that she's wondering if there's a possibility she can have both.
You can't.
Right.
Can't.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Right.
Can't.
Right.
So you have to decide what's more important to you, this attraction or your marriage.
Right. And there should be no question about that.
And by the way, I feel it's like okay to have these attractions.
Right.
Again, as long as you don't act on them, as long as you're not handing them out, telling other people, and
Yeah, on his end, it may be like, if I taste the milk, why do I have to buy it?
But it's going to diminish both relationships.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, without a doubt.
Right.
Yes.
And it's going to, you're giving up your marriage to do this.
That's one thing I could never understand. When you get married, you make a commitment to that person. If you cheat on your spouse, that is the meanest, rottenest thing that you can do to them. It's like completely, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, there's,
Disrespecting your husband in your marriage.
yeah. There is also a lot of gray in those types of things because we're talking about you just cheat out of the blue on somebody.
Yeah.
You've got a relationship that's gone cold and maybe is abusive on the other side, but you don't want to leave it for the kids, whatever you're doing, and then you
That's
cheat
a whole-
on them
that's
for
a whole
that.
nother story,
That gets
yeah.
into all kinds of gray areas.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
I understand that,
yeah.
yes.
But in this instance, you've got a functioning marriage, and she loves her husband, so he's relatively okay. And listen, if that's the choice you want to make, that's the choice you make, but you have to understand you're making a choice.
And there's consequences.
And there's consequences, right?
Cool.
Yep.
All right, moving on. Somebody got one?
My boyfriend and I are sexually active. We have a good relationship, but lately he's been asking me to have sex outdoors and even in places we can get caught. I'm uncomfortable with this, but I still love him. How should I handle this?
If you feel uncomfortable, you shouldn't have to do it. And I wouldn't feel comfortable either.
So what's the difference between this and the one that talked dirty?
One is in the privacy, hopefully, of their
Yeah.
bedroom.
So do you think it's greater boundaries? Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Because it's the boundaries of the bedroom versus the boundaries of outside where you can get caught and all this stuff.
She
It's
does
like-
not feel comfortable.
Well, yeah, the other one we don't know, but it
Yeah.
seems like she doesn't feel comfortable seeing dirty things either. But
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't feel too exposed. Maybe that's her feeling about that, but I can understand her feelings 100%.
just don't make love in the beach.
I'm having trouble trying to cope with a relationship where the woman doesn't have control over the sex.
I can't figure that one out at all.
It's just like,
What's the matter
why
with
is this even a question?
Well, not really, because okay, we're only speaking from our own. I mean, we know there are abusers out there, right?
Yeah.
Male run societies.
Yeah, I mean, if this is abuse, this is a whole different.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't have to be abuse. It could be male. Let's face it. There's
Every woman I've ever known would go, "What are you, nuts?"
Who runs? Wait a minute. Isn't that? Well, how many turns do you say that thing? Like, oh, he's the rooster or the hen? Or rooster.
Rolls the roost.
Rolls the roost. There you go.
roost.
Rolls the roost, or she rolls the roost. So we do have dominance in marriage, right?
Yes.
Right. So
Have you ever known a woman who wouldn't look at this guy and say, "What are you, nuts? I'm not having sex outdoors." And
no,
that would be the end
yes,
of the discussion.
Yes. I know a woman who enjoys sex outdoors.
No. I mean, if the woman didn't want to do it,
Right.
she wouldn't be struggling to find ways to accommodate him. She'd just
But
say,
that's
"No,
the same with the
nuts."
one who was
Yeah.
talking dirty, though.
No, I think they're two different things.
No,
Do you?
because the woman who's talking dirty is talking dirty sometimes.
No, that's true too.
So it's obviously
Yeah.
it's okay for her to some extent.
Yeah.
This is violating her comfort zone. When you
Yeah, it's definitely
into-
violating the comfort zone, but yeah.
when you love somebody and intimate, you want to feel safe and secure. Making love outside is just to my way of thinking.
There are women who don't mind it.
Yes, there.
It's like making love on the beach. I would never make love on the beach because you get sand in places in your body you never knew you even had. So I mean,
Well, there's two different issues here. There's sex outdoors and sex where you can get caught.
Yeah.
Those are two different issues.
you think so?
I think so.
Yes, but she does not want to make love outdoors, and I can understand that. And some people are exhibitionists, and that's a whole nother level, like you say, Lou.
Yeah.
Well, if they're,
Whoa, are we out of time, dude?
I mean, we're not going to get cut off or anything like we did on Monday's show. If
We should wrap it up, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
if I don't know, if they have a good loving relationship and can exchange ideas on this, he keeps trying and she keeps saying I'm not comfortable, and then maybe one day she says I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Or the situation presents itself where, like, yeah, I think it'd be okay here. Or,
Honey,
I'm
I
into it.
want a new car. You make love outside. Okay.
There you go.
I don't know. So, that's something you really have to. As far as for him, he shouldn't force it on you whatsoever. Absolutely not. That's something that may be bonded with. I mean, that's all I can say.
The term she used, uncomfortable,
Yeah.
indicates to me, and the fact she's asking the question indicates to me open to the idea.
Ooh, you are reading so much into that, my friend.
No, I don't think I am.
I think you are.
Because, again, women who aren't open to the idea would say, what are you, nuts? You're out of your mind. And that would be the end of the conversation.
Or maybe she loves him and she doesn't want to hurt him.
Or lose them.
Or lose him. Yeah, even better. It's a boyfriend or
Well, listen.
Is it a boyfriend?
Yeah, boyfriend.
Oh, yeah.
If she's gonna lose him over having sex outside or not, then move on.
Exactly, because he's
Yeah.
only going to escalate.
However,
Right.
wait a minute. Yeah, I mean that's the same thing though.
Because
That's how
that's lack of
That's how
tolerance.
girls get into abusive relationships. Is
Yep.
they don't want to lose them, so they'll take it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to be like that. We don't want you to be like that and just be submissive. We want you to at least bargain for the damn thing. If it means so much to him and you still want to keep them, then you have to deal with it.
This is almost, and I'll take the heat for this, this is almost asking for permission. This question is almost asking for
Yeah.
permission.
You are so over the line there.
No, I'm uncomfortable with this, but
Which means she's saying she's not totally wouldn't do it,
Right.
but she's not coming. So that's it. He's got to make her feel comfortable in doing it, right?
Safe. Yep. Safe.
Right,
and
Safe.
comfortable.
Like
Safe
I
is a
said.
good word, Janet. Yeah, I like that.
bring it up. Maybe you get in the right situation where everyone feels comfortable.
Get the wine
and it
out.
happens.
Here we go again. Cuddle time. Here we go.
Because this is almost as with young people in relationships. There's a point where the woman is this way about sex anyway, and then there becomes a point where it's comfortable and it's okay and it makes sense because you feel safe.
Okay.
Whatever. So maybe this is just another one of those levels.
Well, unfortunately, we did not get to all our questions, but we do have to wrap it up. And so we
All right, we're back next month.
we want to thank everyone for listening to us tonight. And remember, be safe and respect each other. That's the
Right.
big thing. So,
Yes.
Respect yourself. Learn to handle your reactions.
good night and God bless everyone.